Today for you, I'm going to make a very classic Indian dessert. Usually we make this whenever we want to celebrate something because it's a very quick dessert. It doesn't require any special equipment, any special ingredient. When you go to a temple, you usually also get this as like a end of the prayer, like a little sweet dish. It's called prasad. And so I'm making my classic halwa with a little twist, and I'll show you what that twist is. So please stay tuned, but come along and let's make a really yummy, delicious halwa. So to make our classic halwa, we're gonna need 1 cup of cream of wheat. And then I'm making this a little bit with a twist. So I'm adding about a 1/4 cup of quinoa flour. And all I've done is take quinoa and put it in my coffee grinder and ground it to a nice powder. And then about 1/2 cup of crushed almonds. And it's okay if some of the slices, they were sliced roasted almonds, and it's okay if some of them are still slices. And then the proportion is really important when you're making halwa. So however much cream of wheat you take, that's how much sugar you need. So because I'm using 1 cup of cream of wheat, I have 1 cup of sugar. And then I have 1 teaspoon of cardamom powder and a few strands of saffron. If you don't have saffron, that's okay. It's optional, but it adds a really nice flavor and a really nice color. So to get started, I'm going to take my cream of wheat and roast it nicely in some ghee. So let's see how we do that. So here in a nice big pan, and you want a heavy duty pan, I have about 1/3 cup of ghee getting hot. And to this, I'm going to add my 1 cup of cream of wheat. And I want it roasted until it's like a nice toasty color. You don't want to brown it, but you want it to toast nicely. So it takes about 2-3 minutes. Because cream of wheat is kind of already roasted, it doesn't take that long. So that's 1/2 cup. And then another. So it's 1 cup total. And I'm going to roast it nicely. So don't walk away when you're making this because this could burn very easily. So this only takes a couple minutes. So you want to kind of stand right here. And it looks like a lot of ghee, but this makes a lot of halwa. So you're not eating that much halwa. This will feed at least 6 to 8 people because you're not eating that much. So even though it looks like a lot of sugar and it looks like a lot of ghee, it's, when you think of the proportion that you're eating, it's not that much. Again, also there's no substitute. You must use sugar, and you do need to use ghee. It does not taste like halwa if you don't use that. So I'm going to give this another minute, and then I'm going to add my quinoa flour and my almonds and then roast it for another minute. The proportion of liquid is also important. So 1 part of cream of wheat requires 3 parts of liquid. So for this one, I'm going to use 2 cups of water and 1 cup of milk. The milk adds a really nice creaminess. Now, it's very important that the water is hot. So I've just used my tea kettle to heat some water, because if you don't use hot water or hot liquid, lumps are going to be formed. So first, when we add the water, it needs to be very hot. And then once the whole mixture is lump free, then we can add our milk, and the milk doesn't need to be hot. So I'm still going to roast it. I want to roast until it has a nice color, and you'll see the fragrance. You'll smell that toasted cream of wheat and the toasted butter fragrance. So total about 2 to 3 minutes. And as you can see, it's already starting to brown on the bottom a little bit. Okay, it's been about 2 minutes. It's toasting nicely. So I'm gonna go ahead and add my almond and my quinoa flour. And again, that was a 1/4 cup of quinoa flour. It was actually quinoa that I just kind of grounded in my coffee grinder, and then it was 1/2 cup of sliced toasted almonds that I just kind of put it in the grinder for a second just so that some of the pieces were broken up. And I'm gonna do this for another minute. Halwa is a very classic sweet dish that we use when we want to make an offering in the temple, or as a prasad, which is the offering at the temple. Or, it's just a really nice sweet dish to have. It's very quick to make, doesn't require any special ingredients. And it's one of those few Indian sweet dishes that are pretty easy to make, that even a beginner cook can make. The only problem is the sugar. It does have sugar. So if you're watching your sweet intake, then it's better not to make this unless you eat like a couple spoonfuls as a prasad. This is looking really nice. And now I have my water, and I'm going to start streaming it slowly while whisking it. Okay, so my flour mixture has toasted nicely. I'm going to add my water, and this is hot boiling water. And I'm going to add a little bit at a time and whisk it so that lumps don't form. And I'm going to add a total of 2 cups of water. I'm going to start by adding my water slowly. I don't want to add all the water at once. It's like cooking polenta. If you add all the water at once, lumps are going to get formed. So I'm going to add 1/2 cup at a time until all 2 cups of water are added. And then once almost all of that water is absorbed, I'm going to go ahead and add my milk. Now you can modify this a little bit. You can use all 3 cups of water, or you can do a combination of 2 cups of milk, 1 cup of water. It doesn't matter as long as the ratio is 1 cup of cream of wheat to 3 parts of water. So 1 part of the cream of wheat to 3 parts of liquid. And you can use a combination of milk and water, so that's fine. The more milk you add, the more creaminess it will add to this dish. I'm also going to go ahead and add my cardamom and my saffron at this point, and then keep whisking until all the liquid has been absorbed. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and add some of my milk. So I just added about 1/2 cup of milk. And I'm going to whisk this milk until it's almost absorbed and incorporated nicely into the flour mixture. And then I will add my other 1/2 cup of milk. So in total, I'm adding 2 cups of water and then 1 cup of milk, so 3 cups liquid altogether. So again, the proportion is, and kids, this is where that math lesson on proportions comes in handy, because here we are using 1, 1, and 3. So 1 cup of cream of wheat to 1 cup of sugar, and then 3 cups of liquid. And that liquid again could be in form of all water, all milk, or a combination of 2. So I just added my second half of the milk, and now I'm going to whisk this nicely until all that milk is incorporated and the mixture has thickened a little bit. So I still haven't added my sugar. I don't want to add the sugar too quickly. I want to make sure that all the liquid has been absorbed before I add my sugar. So we're almost there. And as soon as I see that the liquid is almost gone and the mixture is dry, I'm going to go ahead and add my 1 cup of sugar. And I can add all the sugar at once. That's okay. And now I want to make sure that I thoroughly incorporate the sugar. So I'm going to whisk it really well. The mixture is going to turn a little bit liquidy, and that's okay. We just keep whisking until all that sugar has been nicely incorporated, and then the mixture becomes dry again. So we're going to keep whisking until we reach that stage. And our halwa is done. The consistency of this halwa is more porridge-like, and we really like it that way. It's really delicious. It's like stick to the ribs kind of consistency, especially in the winter when it's really cold outside and you want something sweet but warm. This is a great dish to make because it's so quick and very easy to make. So let's go ahead and plate our halwa. And here's our delicious halwa. And like I said, it's more porridge-like, not as dry, but it is so delicious, really yummy. Kids love it. And again, made in less than half hour. And please don't forget to share and subscribe to this channel, and have an amazing day.